My car's gone.
I'm okay. It's okay.
Everything's gone. It's all gone.
It's okay. It's okay.
Are your parents okay?
They're okay.
Was anybody in the gym?
It's okay. It's okay. Thanks.
Okay, hey girl.
Oh, shit.
Get in the house.
Oh, shit.
Go. You try going?
Sidham's phone started lighting up on Saturday with people begging for help.
I mean, I could hear the desperation in her voice. This is multiple phone calls I've received like this, voicemails, text messages, and you could hear people desperate for help.
Sidham and his son rescued 4 people on Saturday and spent the night in a nearby pilot's lounge, then decided to fly again Sunday morning.
I spoke with my son, which is my co-pilot. I said, hey, do you want to go back out and try to help today? And
Sidham and his son were headed up to Black Mountain. Flight tracking shows no flight restrictions in place Saturday or Sunday morning when Sidham flew through the Lake Lure Gap. The Sidham spotted an older couple waving for help, then landed in what's left of their driveway.
It was kind of unstable, so I didn't want to put more weight in the helicopter to lift back off, so I left my son with the other victim, and I was just going to take one person down at the time.
3 minutes away, Sidham spotted a group of rescuers just down the river. He landed and found someone in charge.
Told him my background experience, law enforcement, firefighting, pilot. He immediately started helping with coordination. He gave me radio frequencies to coordinate with them on, set up a landing area for me to come back with the other victim, and in the middle of the whole conversation and then blocking the road off, I was greeted by the Lake Lure fire chief or assistant chief maybe, and he shut down the whole operation. He asked me to leave, and I said, hey, I have no problem getting out of your area. If that's what you want us to do, we'll leave, no issue. At that point, I asked him, what was the reason I had to leave them there, and he said, again, you're interfering with my operation. I just need you to get out of the area. I said, sir, I don't know where you were trained at, but I know how my training is, and I'm not going to leave personnel behind. I'm going back to get my co-pilot. He said, if you turn around and go back up the mountain, you're going to be arrested. I said, well, sir, I'm going back to get my co-pilot. I don't know what to tell you. And he said, I'm letting you know. And at that point, he waved for 2 law enforcement officers to come over and told me that again, if I go back up the mountain, I would be arrested.
He flew the 3-minute trip back, picked up his son, and left the woman's husband behind.
I'm sure he was flooded with emotions and trying to rescue other people, and I just felt that it was best at the time to leave. So I did follow his instructions, and I had a conversation with the female victim before I left, apologizing and explaining. She was standing there. She heard the whole conversation. And they were both very, very surprised, very upset. The husband, as I was leaving off of the side of the mountain, at that point, separated from his wife, he was upset. I can only imagine.
Sidham and his nearly 1,400 flight hours turned his chopper around and headed back to South Carolina, passing people waving for help along the way.
As I was actually leaving to go back to get my son, the original chief or captain that I spoke to, his crew and himself, they came back over and said, hey man, we can't tell you to go get the victim. We can't even ask you to go get the victim, but we can tell you if you come back with the victim, we'll have you a designated landing spot, and we'll make sure they don't come over here.
So there was no flight restriction when you went in?
No flight restriction when I went in. It went in place 20 or 30 minutes after the confrontation.
My name's Jonathan Howard. I'm a member of the Florida State Guard Special Missions Unit, and I'm also up here with Aerial Recovery, a nonprofit. I came up here on Sunday with Aerial Recovery before we even got activated. We flew up here, and then we got activated, which is great. I have my team up here working as well. Here's the problem. I'm going to tell you everything that's happening from the ground, what I'm actually seeing, because what they're telling you is complete bullshit on the news, and these politicians don't have a fucking clue, and they're lying. And I'll say this now, I'll say it at the end of the video. The only thing I need from this video is helicopters. If I have helicopters, I can save lives. Without helicopters, I can't reach these people. It doesn't matter how many chainsaws and trucks I got, I can't get to them. They're 10 miles in, 20 miles, 40 miles in the mountains. There's no way to get with them or even communicate with them. I am literally flying around in a civilian helicopter looking for SOS messages carved in the mud or painted on the ground, and we're dropping down and saving them. I will tell you, when we go up in the air, I probably see 40 civilian helicopters, and I might see 2 Blackhawks, National Guard, military, whatever they are. That's it. No one's out there doing rescues. I have my entire team up here from Florida right now, and they have no ability to go rescue these people other than what they can drive to. And the people that are in dire need, they're out in the mountains. They are completely cut off. Now, I will say, I spoke to my congresswoman down in Florida, and she's a badass, and she made a bunch of phone calls, and now we got 2 contracted 60s coming up here tomorrow, which is great. I love that, but like, I still don't understand why we don't have more helicopters. Like, we'll get a lot of work done with that, but there's there's no military. There's no one's doing nothing. It blows my mind. And they're not even allowing people to see what's really going on. One of our friends yesterday, they were actually escorting CNN down at Lake Lure, and they wouldn't even let CNN, the sheriff department would not let them go videotape the bad areas, how destructive it is. I don't know why they don't want to show you all that, but I mean, it is bad. I should also say, when I flew here on Sunday, they actually stopped us from going in, the sheriff department. And it was because of a bunch of politics that they were claiming was the Speaker of the House of North Carolina that was preventing us from even going in and trying to kick us out, which I have clarified today with North Carolina politicians that reached out to me, good on them, and they were like, that's complete bullshit. Speaker of the House has nothing. He wants you guys there. But this is the kind of political BS that is happening here right now. Like, everyone's trying to be in charge without taking any type of action. Nobody wants to coordinate with anybody. Everybody wants to pretend like they're being the hero while these people are literally fucking dying in the mountains. And these people, like I'm saying, these people are limited medication, they're running out of oxygen, and there's no one going to get them. The most effective way I have found to go find these people is by getting in a helicopter and flying down the rivers and roads and looking for SOS messages or people waving us down. And then we drop down and get them. We have all these people here. We have law enforcement, we have State Guard, National Guard. They have no way to go get these people. Yesterday, when I was at the Asheville airport refueling, which, by the way, the civilian is paying all this out of his own pocket. He's not even looking for a reimbursement. I think we did 4 refuelings yesterday. And that was like just in half a day's work. We're in Asheville, and I saw 2 Air Force helicopter 60s. And I knew they were PJs, just looking at them. And I went up to them, I'm like, hey guys, like, what are y'all doing? And like, this is what you need to be doing, this is how I'm finding people. And they're like, we can't go. We're waiting on Title 10 orders. And I'm like, what? They can't get any authority. There's military helicopters all over here sitting on the ground, and they can't do nothing. Even my JSOC boys in Fayetteville, they can't get orders to come out here. It is just the most disgusting thing, and they're killing these people. And I don't know why they're doing it. I don't know what kind of conspiracy. I've heard so many things, whatever you want to come up with, but they are literally allowing these people to fucking die in the mountains right now because we can't get helicopters. They got money for everything else in the fucking world right now, but if they could just get us helicopters, we could fly out there and rescue these people. So I hope this video goes viral. I hope these politicians get fired. I hope people get pissed off. They'll probably kick me out of the state of North Carolina for doing this, but you know what? I don't care, because if I can save one more life for it, it's fucking worth it to me.
Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers. It's John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Wednesday, October 2nd, 2024. The Inspired mantra stands even in light of such horrific things. We're healthy, we're wealthy, we're whole, we're free. My heart goes out to all the people in East Tennessee, just over here in North Carolina, in Georgia, in Florida. This is, you know, as always, it's the cover up. It's the cover up that gets them. Before we go any deeper, I want to welcome you all in a live chat. I want to welcome you all on X Rumble and YouTube. You know, we try to get as accurate information from people on the ground that are actually there, not the rumors that are flying around, because that's hard to verify. I want to say one thing before we go any further. In my experience, the vast majority of first responders, people in the military, people in the National Guard, people in law enforcement, firefighters, in you know, rescue agencies, even the FEMA people, and all the other people that are first responders are the vast majority are great people. They go into the line of fire every day. They risk their lives every day. They're great, fantastic people. This is a classic chain of command problem where up the chain you have all that's all you need. You need a few people that are for, and we will verify those reasons as time goes on. We can only speculate, that are doing inhumane, evil, horrific things. And you can't tell me that you will turn away trained pilots. You will turn away trained pilot first responders, like the guy in a clip here. So the guy's a law enforcement, has fire department experience, and is a trained pilot, 1,400 hours. And you telling me you're going to turn that guy away? Put him in your team immediately, and let's get on with it. There were many people who wanted to volunteer, who could fly those choppers in and out, which, by the way, makes the most sense. The weather is okay. You could fly in hundreds of people a day with those choppers and minimize the ongoing death situation. We hear what we can hear through the chain that's going down the mountain. A lot of people, even in Asheville, committing suicide because it is so bad. So I want to give you a few updates on what we could find in terms of facts currently on the aftermath, and some reports from the ground. So far, what we can find out is the death toll across the Southeast was at least 162 Wednesday and was expected to rise. Asheville alone has reported 57 deaths. So thousands are still missing, and the death toll is expected to rise significantly. I think we're going to see, I think we're talking probably 10,000 people. I don't know, but many people. This is unprecedented. The dam breaking or basically collapsing in North Carolina, the Lake Lure one, the one in Eastern Tennessee. Those are things that nobody expected in those areas, and we don't know if it was sabotage, if it was simply complete incompetency. Yes, extreme rainfall, so that might have been manipulated. There are so many avenues to look at. We're just giving you the facts as we have them now. Water authorities warned that potable running water could be weeks away in some areas. Asheville says they don't even know. They don't even have a projection. Duke Energy said its round-the-clock power restoration efforts had restored more than 1.6 million customer outages in the Carolinas. And by the way, this was not officially confirmed to be in connection, but we have trucker reports from various exits in the I-40 corridor that are supposedly on the way to deliver goods with slashed tires, up to 50 trucks with slashed tires. So there is some sort of sabotage operation going on for sure. Still, almost 900,000 homes and businesses remained without power in the two states Wednesday. Another 450,000 were dark in Florida, Georgia, Virginia, and West Virginia. Moody's Analytics said it expects $15 billion to $26 billion in property damage. AccuWeather's preliminary estimate of the total damage and economic loss from Helene in the U.S. is between $95 billion and $110 billion. While there is no concrete information available on how much money the federal government will allocate to Hurricane Helene disaster relief, President Biden announced another $8 billion in military aid to the Ukraine. According to official sources, the U.S. has given at least $71.4 billion to Ukraine and Israel in 2024 alone. I searched all websites. I looked for the figures. Nobody's saying anything. Biden has approved 1,000 personnel today, military personnel. Yes, of course, FEMA is doing all kinds of things, and the supposedly the other agencies are, but reports on the ground are something different altogether. And I'm not saying that these people are not doing anything. I'm saying that bureaucracy is always in the way. When, like the guy in the intro clip, right? Helicopter pilot, I'm sure former military, experienced, comes in and says that the military choppers are sitting there because they didn't get their orders. And that was yesterday, Monday, or yesterday, Tuesday. Monday, Tuesday, doesn't matter. Thursday is when the storm hit. So we had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Do you know how valuable the first 24 hours are after any disaster. The first 24 hours is where you can get the most people, save the most people. Every hour that passes, it gets worse and worse and worse. People don't have what they need. They get desperate. They might be trapped, whatever. The weather is fine. You could fly in and out 24/7 literally and get everybody out of the areas that are cut off from everywhere else. We got some, I kept in touch with Ann Vandersteel, especially on her ex, our dear friend Ann Vandersteel, and she reported, and this is what she posted yesterday. So I want to share this with you. So she says, breaking updates from Asheville. The only entrance into Asheville is 30 minutes south. There are no trucks dropping off food, water, zero trucks anywhere. The response is so weak by the government. The people on the ground are doing better job than the authorities. If regular people just got in their car with supplies, drove in and pushed boxes out, it would be monumental and exponential in help. People are desperate. A massive surge of dry goods, formula, baby supplies delivered ASP. A coordination of drop-off points is being crafted. So that was yesterday morning, October 1st. That was Tuesday. That's days after the storm. She says the problem is they're running out of gas. Ace Hardware giving employees gas for free so people can come buy stuff. But what about gas for people to coordinate supply dissemination? Whole roads are still collapsing. Infrastructure destroyed beyond the imagination. It's apocalyptic. The sheer act of survival is being complicated by medical concerns. Death will hasten due to lack of food and water. And with the post-strike, how are they going to get food in? And where is Fort Liberty? Only 5 Chinooks seen in the area. Just keep sending money to Ukraine. Plead on the Senate floor for Ukraine. The governor of North Carolina is so corrupt. The mayor of Asheville is saying nothing, diverting every question with platitudes, doing nothing. Total stand down of law enforcement. There's no one wearing a uniform under the moniker of serve and protect seen anywhere. So this is Ann Vandersteel in her typical straightforward manner, which I love. She, they don't call it steel truth for nothing. And then during the day, more updates from the ground. The grassroots effort is putting the government to shame, as always. Neighbors helping neighbors is always the most affecting thing. Operation Burning Edge is on the ground in Asheville and surrounding areas most devastated by Hurricane Helene. Accomplished today 40 flights with over 12,000 pounds of supplies delivered to 6 North Carolina mountain counties. 12 truck and trailer loads with over 54,000 pounds of supplies delivered to Hendersonville, Tryon, Spruce Pine, Lake Lure, and Morganton. Donations needed per pilots and our ground people firsthand. Okay, so this is what they need right now. We're going to let you know how, if you can deliver it and what can be done. They need water, baby formula, solid baby foods, diapers, ensure empty plastic containers. You can see the list: batteries, candles, charcoal, pain relief medicine, first aid supplies, heavy duty gloves. I mean, kind of the first aid things that you would assume they would need. And you can deliver, if you're in the area, they take deliveries at Lincoln Airport in Iron Station, North Carolina. You can go and drop that off if you have that, if you're in the area, if you can get there. If you're unable to physically donate at the drop-off location and want to give a monetary donation, the airport has set up a private fund, and all proceeds go to fueling pilots' planes who are volunteering to fly in supplies. So here's the number. Ask for Daryl. And this is the information. Once again, this is grassroots efforts. Operation Burning Edge is something Ann Vandersteel is a huge part of, founding member of. They're doing other stuff usually, but they're all over the place. Usually when something happens, they're quickly there to help. So this is sort of the reason why we are not providing any GoFundMe's or Give Send Go campaigns, is because we have to first verify that these are legitimate. We don't ever donate to government institutions. I'm sorry, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. So that's not going to happen. Please don't ever. I mean, this is just me. I'm not saying don't donate, but I would never donate to the Red Cross, because I know how much of their money goes to everywhere else but where it is needed. So the best thing to do, and this is something how I was brought up, is if you can help one family directly, if you know someone in the area who needs your help and you can help them, that's the best you can do. That way, you know that's where it's going to go, and that person or that family is going to be helped. The second best thing is, of course, if you are there and you can help with supplies or anything, yes, that's a wonderful thing to do. And then if you trust a fundraiser, if you trust the people, if you verify them, and if you have trusted sources that vouch for them, then send your money there. There is so much bullshit going around, especially when something like this happens. And these are often charities that will pocket 70-80% that goes somewhere into their administration, and then 20% goes there. I was surprised to see government agencies like and like I say, usually great people, but I don't understand how the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency says a couple days ago, don't send money, don't deliver goods to the area, wait till we tell you where you can put that. And I know the guy who runs the agency, by the way, my old neighbor, Patrick Sheehan, great guy, great family guy. Always out, at all hours of the day when there was something going on, like dedicated to his job, and just a great guy. But I sometimes just don't know what these people are thinking when they put out statements like that. We all know how important the first few days are. We all know that nobody is going to be as efficient in helping as your neighbor. That's the person that's going to help you the most, and hopefully you are going to help them the most. Those are the people that bond together, that grassroots component. And to say, oh, it disturbs the chain of command, it disturbs our efforts, well, put the volunteers to work. They won't mind if they're in a chain of command, as long as you put them to work and let them help. And the people freaking need help. I told you yesterday, my friend Johnny Junko, Barnersville, North Carolina, outside of Asheville, they're cut off. They don't have anything. They're working on preserving what meat reserves they had. They're soon going to send out hunting parties, but they're cut off. Barely have communication because there's no power. He just sent out this message to let everyone know. Of course, for all the brave new world digital currency people, guess what doesn't work? Nothing but cash works, by the way, maybe if you have gold or silver on hand. And of course, electric vehicles really not working well in those mountains right now. But I want to say this one more time unequivocally. Most first responders are fantastic people. They go out and they risk their lives, and these are great folks. What I'm talking about is the upper echelons of the chain of commands. It takes days and days and days, as if it is a surprise. We're in the middle of hurricane season, as if any of this could be a surprise to the federal government. And like we have been saying, if you rely on that, if you rely on official help, then I hope this is the last thing that you needed to educate you, to let you know, please don't do what you can with what you have where you are, to be prepared, to be ready for such things as good as you can. Skills are as important as anything else, right? If you have skills that can come in handy, then you can make it easier through such situations. But I can promise you this, that the people on the ground, the grassroots people, the people that are affected and survived, are going to be the most effective in helping others. Unfortunately, we will never know the true death toll because, it's an election year. So you're going to hear those fairy tale numbers of maybe 200 people, when we already know from certain areas that surpassing 200 people. This came so fast. It's incredible. Because once a dam breaks, that's not like a river that's rising and rising, and you can sort of expect once it floods what's going to happen. A dam breaking literally puts water into areas that nobody expects them to be at a pace that nobody expects them to be. I've heard rumors that this was done on purpose, but those are just rumors. We don't want to speculate more than that. Like I say, if you can see if you can help someone directly, this is what we're trying to do. Get in touch with the people, see how we can help directly, not through any big organizations. That's what we do. You do you. And we're going to keep you updated. We don't have any news, by the way, on the formation of the storm. We shared a couple days ago what our friends at geoengineeringwatch.org, Dane Wigington, has been saying, what some others have been saying about the potential manipulation of the storm through NEXRAD, through maybe HARP. We don't know the steering of we simply don't know. This is speculation, right? And we might find out more. What is interesting for sure is the connections that we shared in yesterday's show, that in that area that is now cut off, there are two mines. The producer of the purest quartz that is used for semiconductors, and they're cut off. We had this, or have this typhoon, or had typhoon in Taiwan that halted the biggest semiconductor manufacturer in the world there at the same time. Within a few days, you had now the strike on the eastern seaboard of North America, of the United States, where the workers in the ports are striking. Which all of this is gonna, I mean, this is a perfect storm brewing. We have some important infrastructure missing, transportation infrastructure, because of the aftermath of Hurricane Helene. I-40 will be closed at that section for a long time. You have that strike. You have just all of these things culminating. So even if you're not in an affected area, I hope you're sort of preparing just to be maybe ready to survive a few weeks without going to the store. Supplies might be in shortage. I know we've already noticed certain things you can't get, hard to get, or there are limitations in how much you can get. So just something to think about, to have those most important things ready to go. Of course, I would encourage you, and this is what people forget during times like these, what is most important is your spiritual practices. Really, I mean, if you wake up in the morning and you give yourself those 15-20 minutes, we have this higher consciousness for completely free. There's just a video that explains it. Higher consciousness challenge in a video description. It's just breath work every morning, and people are responding greatly to it. And the other thing is too, something we've done for many decades. We especially when our kids were little, we still do it, but when they left the house, we put a blue bubble of energy. It's an energy protection bubble. You imagine it around them. It's literally protection, and those things work. Whether you think that's woo woo or not, it works. It's like prayer. It works. Make sure that you drink good water. This is not just the disaster for the people there. It's also a huge stressor for all of the people watching. I know many of you are empaths. You feel it, and you feel the pain. So just make sure that you protect yourself in that area, and that you really look after yourself. If we lower our own frequency, and if we get too caught up in the emotions, we will contribute to the problem rather than the solution. That's highly, highly important. I also continually encourage everyone to use those amazing free tools at your disposal. For example, the free trial, the FLFE, Focused Life Force Energy, creates a high consciousness field around you or your home. And they give you a free trial, no subscription, no credit card, no bullshit, no strings attached. Just a free trial, their gift to you, just to give it a try and see if it helps you. It's helped thousands and thousands of people tremendously. EMF mitigation, protection, all those things. Links in the description, or go to highconsciousnessfield.com and just give it a try. I mean, during times like these, this can be so beneficial, and it is. And another thing is, we will, at some point, if we look at all the things that have transpired just in the last couple of years, the massive fires, the cattle productions that they attack, the chicken productions that they attack. And I'm the first one to tell you, the way that meat production and these horrible facilities where animals are treated like shit, I'm the first one to tell you that is not the way to go. These mass meat production facilities are inhumane and horrible. But we need to transition into something. We can't just all burn it all down like these globalists or whoever, cabal, dark forces are doing. The food plants, the food production sites, over 250 in the last few years that burned down, huge facilities. We had chemical facilities that are being blown up regularly. We have devastating fires where people are removed from their lands, California, Idaho, you name it, other states where fires are destroying huge acreages, Canada. And then oftentimes the federal government will confiscate that land and not let people return there. Like I say, we have there's a lithium mining contract in place in that specific area in North Carolina that was hit the hardest, where starting 2026, the lithium mining operations should start. Rumor has it that there are other properties that are wanted and needed by the mining companies and might be available now and weren't available before. So if you think something nefarious, you might not be the only one. But I also want to say these things need to sort of be really investigated. There are things, if you look into something deep enough, the truth reveals itself. I don't like this, do a quick scroll over social media and then have your whole theory ready. We need to really dig deep. What we're finding is definitely painting a picture. So yeah, this is it, my friends, from us today. Also, I want to thank everybody who is supporting this channel, our work, our team, by joining us, for example, in the Inspired Community on Locals for in-depth and much more personal, intimate sort of live shows that we have there. We answer a lot of questions. And for everyone who is supporting the new merch line that my wife created, Free Spirit, we really appreciate it. And it keeps the work going, and it allows us to pay our team, which is amazing behind the scenes, doing fantastic work. We want to thank our great moderator here in the live chat, Ronnie. She's amazing and has some great news of her own in her own life, which is wonderful. And this community, you guys are incredible. Actually, I can't believe the level of consciousness, your wonderful comments, your knowledge, the information that you share with us. It's truly a team effort all over. And we just want to let you know how proud we are to be part of this community and how much we love you all. So have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day, and we'll keep you up to date. And we'll see you very, very soon.
And right now, you could be only a few clicks away from experiencing something amazing, something that has changed thousands of lives all over the world. I'm talking about a high consciousness field similar to those at pilgrimage sites and sacred places. It's where people go to heal, to connect, and to become the best possible version of themselves. With FLFE, you can bring such a high consciousness field into your home right now. It's a spiritual quantum technology based on the work of Nikola Tesla. Better sleep, more energy, greater well-being, improved finances, electrosmog mitigation. These are only some of the things people on the FLFE service are experiencing. Try it now for 15 days completely free of charge, no credit card needed. Just click on a link down below to start your free, no strings attached FLFE trial right now.